Oxycontins are like 100,000 million times worse than pot.
Yeah.
And they're fucking readily available if you live in Florida.
Yeah.
You live in Florida, they have these things called pain management centers.
You see the thing on Current, the Vanguard special, like the Oxycontin Express?
Yes.
It's still pretty easy to get that.
Nuts. Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You could just, they have these pain management centers and they don't have a database. So you could go to a doctor and then you get your oxys, and then you can go to another doctor down the street and get more.
Yeah.
And you get another doctor down the street and get more. You just keep going. They don't check up on each other.
How's that doing?
No battery thing yet.
No battery thing? Alright, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that the double A's get really hot and then they fucking fry. It's like, so that's what they gotta work on, but the little rechargeable thing is great. But yeah, I mean, it's really, like, I think what it comes down to is, you know, localizing more. I mean, I'm actually, when I go home, I'm gonna be running for mayor of my town.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, just because,
how big is your town?
15,500.
It's in Vermont?
No, Hopatcong, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yes, and
you guys are going to college in Vermont?
Yeah, like well, you're done too now, aren't you?
Well, I graduated on the 23rd, and I'm done with school this Thursday.
What are you guys going to school for?
Writing, professional writing.
So
I just literally today I had I walked off the stage and I was supposed to sit down and finish the ceremony. I just ran out the door, and we were doing like $120 up here past Border Patrol, and I'm like, I was like, I hope that guy's jerking off because we were fucking.
What is Border Patrol like? What is it like?
It was just a dude sitting in the middle of a fucking.
He's fucking probably on his iPod or some shit.
Like, when you hit the border, do they ask you any questions?
Yeah, they rapid fire questions at you, and I was like, oh shit.
It was quick though.
Yeah,
it was only like 30 seconds.
What did they say?
They're like, what are you doing here? And I was like, going to UFC. They're like, well, what do you have anything in the car? Do you have tobacco? Do you have alcohol? It's like things where you can't even process it quick. And so if you are gonna lie, you don't have time to lie.
Right.
So but I was just like, oh, I have tobacco in the car. We're good. And then it was really painless.
It's pretty easy to get into Canada. It's going back is they're a little bit more.
Yeah, like where are you coming from?
Yeah, exactly. Really a little bit.
Yeah, they might even have dogs out. Like I know when me and Stoney came back, they had dogs.
Most of the time, it's pretty easy. Every time I've been through, I can pretty much come.
And when they have dogs, do they use drug sniffing dogs? Are they looking for guns and bombs?
I don't even know. They basically kind of just walk it along the toll booth.
Dogs are only trained for one thing.
Yeah.
If a dog is a gun-sniffing dog or he smells gunpowder or explosives or whatever the fuck it is, he's not a drug-sniffing dog, too. They're one or the other.
Yeah, so
interesting.
It's
probably maybe it was a bomb.
Yeah, I assume so, right?
I don't know what it was.
Somebody's driving a car bomb from Canada.
Yeah.
to go bomb Montpelier.
Well, that's the thing that I think that's kind of interesting about the whole terrorism thing. If they really, really, really wanted to fuck with us and do something pretty catastrophic or just something that would mentally shake us and put us fear in us, it'd be really easy. That's the thing that kind of is worries me about this whole
Yeah.
I don't really buy that.
It retarded though.
Yeah,
it seems to be the ones that are willing to act out and do all these things. They're always really troubled, fucked up guys. Like the guy in Dallas, and then this guy that tried to blow up the car in New York. They're all social misfits, really fucked up, down their luck. They're not these masterminds that our press and media is letting them out to be, or relaying them to be.
There's people who've had too much of this weird world and snap. They can't.
Yeah, the other thing is with this whole fight against terrorism is this is terrorism. No one would know if I was plotting some crazy plot to go do something crazy. It's you're doing it in your own bedroom. It's how are you? What are you gonna do? Tap everybody's phone line?
These guys though, they do it with other groups. This guy had been to Pakistan and met with some.
See, I feel that's how you get caught. That's how you get caught.
Yeah, well, that's the only way they get funding. That's the only way they they get any sort of instruction on how they're gonna pull this off. I don't know. The fucking terrorist thing is sort of ridiculous when you think about that. That's our real enemy. Yeah. It's a few people. And
what are you gonna do? Sit around your whole life worried there's gonna be a car bomber down your neighborhood? It's it happens.
It's a mess.
We're very sheltered in that way. I've never really had any incident in my life where I was terrified out of my mind. But I'm sure people living in the Middle East right now, there's every day they gotta look over their shoulder, look,
Oh yeah. You ever talk to people in Israel?
No.
People. My friend Shuki grew up in Israel, and he would always talk about. You don't know every day you could die, so every day is party. Because he was always, fucking happy, having a good time. It's you embrace life more because it could end at any moment. Wow.
Yeah, but I think in general that's the mistake a lot of people in this country make is that they don't, each day should you should try to do as much enjoyable stuff in a day as possible. circumstances permitting. Like again, you're talking about working shitty jobs to pay bills, and you know that's a sad reality of this culture. And it's just like, how do you get around that? You said robots, but like still, even then, you're gonna take jobs away from people. They're not gonna be like, what do you do then?
Well, that's why people have avatar depression.
What's that?
You don't know what avatar depression is?
No.
Avatar depression is a real symptom that people are calling. People who go to see the movie Avatar and get depressed that their life isn't like their life. Their life isn't like the people in Avatar. Right?
What?
Yeah, the people, their life is like so natural and in harmony with nature and the earth and the whole
That's
deal.
crazy.
And then they're flying around on dragons in this beautiful world, and it's amazing.
Man.
And you know, and then they have to go to work at McDonald's, and they fucking get avatar depression.
Oh man.
Our society is fucking very strange, and you know, this massive overpopulation problem and this massive need to fuel this huge machine. This, you know, society now is this like gigantic fucking system where it's huge. There's 300 million of us, and it requires most people to do things that suck.
Yeah.
Most people in order to keep this thing going, they have to do things that suck. Whereas like tribal societies back in the day, it was all about hunting and gathering food, which is what we're all wired for.
Yeah.
Now it's like to make this thing function, there's got to be so many people doing things that are just not fun.
Well, I think with the way like our federal government is structured, like I look at the Democrats and Republicans as the same rich white people for the most part. I think really what it comes down to is kind of gets back to like part of the reason why I'm going to run for mayor. Just I don't care if I win, I just want to get the ideas out there. But I think like if you look at the country as a big machine is only as strong as its individual parts. So if a cog, the gears grind or the teeth grind down, that machine's not going to function as well. So if you look at the towns and cities as individual parts of a big machine and you make them self-sufficient, you make them stronger, and you make them where they're not so reliant on state and federal aid, then you, in a way, like kind of just trickles out to the other, to the county, to the state, and then the country, and then you have a much more stable environment, and the government might not need to be so shady and making these backroom deals because they're trying to get all this extra money because they're overspending. They're like getting themselves in positions where they can't afford to cover everything, but we expect them to cover everything. So I think if you start at the local level and then go out from there, you have a much more potential to at least stabilize something, or at least have at least a town where people are happy.
Yeah, I think local politics are the only politics that are real.
Yeah.
Even state politics, you can actually get things passed in state politics. Whereas national politics, nationally, what do you get to vote on? You get to vote on presidents, and you get to vote on, you don't really get to vote on like real important issues. You get to vote on who you think is going to support your issues. You know what I mean?
It's just like
yeah,
and it's all
they change, and then they change their opinion once they get in office.
Yeah, it's all lobbies.
Which I honestly think that should be illegal. If your platform is like based on a certain opinion and you are really driving that in to your constituents and they elect you for that, and then you get up there and you're like, woohoo!
Yeah,
totally wrong.
Well, look at Obama. Obama gets in office and says, before he gets in office,
offshore drilling.
Got to get rid of the lobbyists, and and then he hires a fucking fuckload of them.
Yeah, hires people from Goldman Sachs.
We got to stop this war, and he said, okay, but we're gonna ship 30,000 people to Afghanistan. Like it's like the Goldman Sachs thing and
stop Iraq.
Geithner, just
restart.
Geithner as a Secretary of Treasury blew my mind. It was like this is the thing I'm really unsure about Obama. He's smart. He's very strategically smart. We saw that in the campaign. I don't know if he's playing the game to get a second term so he could actually force hit actually do his change thing, or if he's just a puppet. Like I found out the other day, he's this doesn't mean much, but it's interesting. He's a 10th cousin of George Bush and cousins of
yeah, I've seen all that stuff. My 10th cousins don't have any fucking influence over me.
But it's just kind of if you look
that's
at
pretty.
Yeah, no, it is. It's just interesting because he was also related to 6 other presidents. Yeah, the bloodlines.
There's stuff. There's that Illuminati type fucking theory about bloodlines. You can go straight Alex Jones on that.
Yeah.